But let's take it back. Let's take it back to before church, before all that.
Oh,
How
no.
did you become a Christian?
How did I become a Christian?
This is a story I actually really like, so I'm excited to get it on
How
tape.
did I become a Christian? Okay, now, we did grow up with some kind of faith.
Yeah.
My cousin was an evangelist, and about at the age of 10 or 11, he would take me under the wing. He would give me the Bible, and he goes, Pete, if you memorise all the books of the New Testament, I'll buy you a Big Mac.
Okay.
Mate, that was an offer I couldn't refuse.
Especially at 10, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
mate, Big Macs. My kids get Big Macs nearly every day now, mate. They don't understand. But anyway, my mother, as a young child, would always teach me to pray before I went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing that I kind of looked at throughout my life is those that God put before me. My parents would always pray. Now, we went to, a Catholic church.
Yep.
All right. And that's where I kind of went for a good part of my life. Probably 30 years I would go, I would read the Bible and so forth. So my love for God was always there. Was I living faithfully? No. By the time I started tertiary education, I started playing football. We'd be going to pubs, clubs and what have you. And I kind of went down that path. Look, to some degree, I did have that conviction. So
Yeah.
we behaved ourselves
Yeah.
to a certain degree. But did I drink? Yeah, we did all that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is what it is. And I'm happy to talk about it. So, by the age of 23, 24, there was that emptiness. I was lacking something. And I really thought, this can't be just life. There was an emptiness. I didn't have that bond with God anymore, and I really wanted it. When I've read the scriptures all my life, I had the head knowledge. So I always knew God was always there, right?
Yeah.
So by that time, I made a decision, hey, I really want to get involved. So I started holding Bible studies.
Okay.
I knew kind of a portion of the scriptures to a certain degree. So I was able to kind of gain momentum, hold Bible studies, and it began to grow. But the emptiness was still there.
You're trying to fill that void.
I certainly did. And I just couldn't shake it off.
Yeah.
I couldn't shake it off. And as I've told many people in the past that, when I'd be holding those Bible studies and I'd be at the footsteps of the local church or the hall that was out front of the local church, I would walk out onto the balcony at night. I would look up to the sky. And I'd say, God, why am I feeling this way? Am I not doing your work? And I kept saying that until one day I went to God somewhat frustrated and said, Lord, what is it that you want me to do? Do you want me to walk away from this place? 30 years of my life, I'm prepared to do it. I'll close the door and I'll go wherever you want me to go. I was invited to an MBF, which is basically, how would you explain that?
A bunch of churches in
gathering
Australia
of churches.
coming together for a conference for a couple of days and, hanging out.
So here's the thing. I went and I sat by myself. I didn't want anyone to sit next to me.
Fair enough.
I remember seeing some of the members of our church there,
Okay.
which I did kind of already know. But I was just a bit angry at this stage. So I sat in that chair and our church was hosting it, right? So as I was sitting down, listening to what was being said and watching our workers in the background, it was a supernatural feeling that happened to me. When they say God spoke to me?
Yeah.
It wasn't audible.
Okay.
I can't explain it, but God spoke to my heart and said, Pete, this is where I want you to be. Very rarely has this happened to me, and I thought, bang, I've got to go tell my wife this. Now, what's the first thing that's going to go through her head? Is this guy a nutbag?
Yeah, God spoke,
God spoke
to him.
to me. Thus saith the Lord, right?
Yeah.
But it was too evident, and she knows who I am. And I went to her and I said, I can't explain it. It was just an overwhelming feeling of whether it was a conviction, but the Lord spoke to me and said, this is where I want you to be. And I told my wife, God spoke to me. So she said, well, how about we do this? 50-50. We'll go to...
Solid compromise.
Yeah. I was happy with that.
Yeah, fair.
We went 50-50 to this church and went 50-50 to the church that we were going at the time. Long and behold, it's just too evident. when we started doing that, our heart just went down the one direction. God made it absolutely clear. You can't fight against God. Like, you know the story of Noah. He tried going to get. You just can't do it. He'll pull you back in, and he did that. And I thank God that he did, because he knew what was best for me more than what I did, and that's